isn't a whole lot of the success and happiness in life based on the principle of expectation? That your expectation is set at the right level, that if you expect too much, you're not going to be happy. And if you expect too little, you're not going to be happy. And it's very, very hard to set that expectation. It's great it's very important to have that conversation with kids, right? You know, the expectation, what do you expect? You know, what's realistic? What is possible here? And right, everything that's forced gets rejected eventually. You see it with you see it in businesses. To be honest, you see it with the present mandates on vaccinations worldwide. If every government in the world said you can choose if you want to get vaccinated or not, it's up to you. Your health is your life, is your choice. Then there would be absolutely zero problem. There would be zero problem, because those who want would take it, and those who don't want would not take it, and there would be no force. So it's the applied pressure of force that creates the resistance, which then creates the problem. And then there's even a very strong argument for force is applied to create resistance, that everybody with a brain knows that if they force someone to do something, and these people are not stupid, everybody with a brain knows that if they force someone to do something, they will automatically create resistance. And they will automatically create what we call a powder keg, a sort of gunpowder situation where something will explode and there will be conflict eventually, which is very sad. Here's an interesting little story, and I think we all know this to be true, but this was reaffirmed to me over the Christmas period. And it was something that I knew, but I didn't place the right value on. I knew it was important, but actually it's extremely important, but I didn't have the right value system with it, which is that, and how do I put this? I got to go back. I got to take a step back and talk about a friend of mine. I was talking with a friend of mine about ice cream, right? And this is going back like 6 months. And I was talking about the cost and price of things. And I was saying that, you know, ice cream is quite expensive. if you buy if you go to like a shop that sells specialized ice cream, and this is like a special Scottish thing, right? If you go to a shop that sells this specialized ice cream and you get an ice cream for yourself, and you can't just have one scoop of ice cream, you got to have 2 or 3, yeah, and you get for yourself and you get for your kids and family and friends, you know, it's £20, you know, gone straight away, right? Very, very, in 5 minutes, you've licked away 25. Yeah. You know, children affect a lot of what the parents spend their money on. Just like studies show that most of what is bought in a home, although the man might buy it, it is wanted by the woman, right? Most of the things. The same with luxury cars, right? Most of the things in luxury cars are not seen as necessary by men, but by women. And when the woman gets into the car, she is happy and satisfied by the luxury of the car, not the man, because the man doesn't want the car. The man wants the symbolism connected with the car. All right, so there's a lot going on there, sort of subconsciously, psychologically, and the same with parents and children, where there's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure put on parents to make sure their children perform well. Like, you want the best for your children, don't you? And it's kind of redundant and ridiculous question to ask parents, but it's always put out there. You want the best. Well, of course, every parent wants the best for their children. Most people fail to understand that that's going to be different for different people in different situations. Then in some parts of the world, the best for your children means putting them in the best school. In other parts of the world, the best for your children means giving them clean water to drink, right? I mean, there's really different values still across the world. So anyway, back to the point about values, which is related to the ice cream, where I wasn't complaining. There's a word in English, lamenting. A lament is a sad story, right? Or and I was lamenting the cost of the ice cream and the fact that the money just disappears instantly for no real benefit. And I was saying that I was pointing out that you can go to a shop and buy sort of pre-packaged ice cream, and you spend £3-4, right? But if you go to the ice cream shop and buy the ice cream, it's like you spend £20. There's a big difference in cost there. And my friend said, yes, that's true. But think about the experience of going to the ice cream shop. It's an event. It's a whole magical world of expectation and choice and surprise. It's a whole experience that you don't get if you just buy something in a box all prepared. You miss out on the experience that you can create and share. And it was a very good point. And moving forward in time from that, at Christmas, I spent a few days with my kids, and we have a Christmas tree and we have presents under the Christmas tree. And it's just happened naturally that we didn't open all of the presents at the same time. Yeah. I talked with my kids about the presents, and we sort of agreed that wasn't the most important thing about Christmas. And I said, okay, you can open one present every day, right? Which some people will think that that's very...
which cover for you 1 year.
Well, I understand why. I'm not going to disagree with you. Okay, I'm not going to disagree with you about that, right? I think to understand the value in anything, you need spend time with that thing, and so that's my personal perspective. The value is very much related to time. And I said you'll get a gift, and you'll have a day to appreciate that gift. You have a whole day to appreciate that gift, and that's it, right? But if you open 4 gifts on one day, you can't use 4 things at the same time, right? And then what have you got to look forward to the next day? So this is just a personal thing for me, where I think if you're lucky enough to be in a situation where you've got time and money over the Christmas period, that between Christmas and New Year, you got 7 days, and I think it would be, if you've got 7 gifts and have 1 gift a day, I think that makes a much brighter experience than ripping open everything at once and not knowing what. But everybody likes things in a different way, so whatever works for people, do whatever works. So, but this was an agreement from negotiation that I had with my kids, that we would not open everything at once. We would do it in little stages. And one of the gifts, I'll get to the point eventually, one of the gifts was from my parents, so from the children's grandparents. to my youngest daughter, Jazz, who is 6. And on one of the days, and the children were not really, the children were not really sort of get up in the morning and want to open the presents. And because we were doing lots of other activities and it was all interesting. And so my youngest daughter said, "Can I open a present from my grandparents?" I said, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And I said, you know where the presents are under the tree. I was busy doing something else. I said, if you want to go and open it now, you can go and open it now if you want to do it.
Mm.
And she said, "Yeah, Dad, I want to open it, but more importantly, I want you to watch me open it."
Mm.
More important than the gift was the experience of the gift. It's fascinating to me. More important than the gift was the experience of the gift. And I think this is true in so many situations and we miss it. More important than the meeting is everything around the meeting, is who's there and why they're there and what they're there for and how they can contribute. There's so much more in everything than we really understand. This is really visible in conflicts that people have. Conflicts are not just because of one thing. They're not just because of one thing. Conflicts can build over many years and there can be like 50 different things in one. And when a person or people are in conflict, it's not just about one thing. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on, and a lot of historical stuff in people's minds as well. And it's a whole set of values. And this one thing that my daughter said to me, she said, "I want you to watch me open the gift." That's more important than the gift. Sharing the experience of the gift is more. It just didn't matter what the gift was. Completely irrelevant what the gift was. What was important was the experience, and the experience was shared. And that really, really, really helped me focus on what was important. Where I knew it was important, but I didn't realize how important it was. I didn't realize how much more important it was, especially for my youngest daughter. Yeah. And she said, "Dad, come here, sit down, watch me open it." And I was being a dad, I was doing like 50 different things at once, right? And I'm like, okay, let's go do this now. And the mistake of multitasking, not being where you are and really enjoying the moment. And I went with her and I took that moment to sit with her and watch her open the present. And the joy that she got from it was that I watched it, not that she got it. And parents miss that a lot of the time. Not all parents, a lot of great parents out there, so not all parents miss it. But when your kid is playing the game or singing in the concert or being part of whatever it is that they're doing, that this is observed by the parents, is more important than the actual activity. Dad, watch me climb the bars. It's more important for her that Dad watches her climb the bars than she actually climbs the bars. And it's just that one thing changes the entire world of the child, right? Yeah, and it's also a mirror of what the parents do as well. Because how many times are you going to say to your daughter, watch me? Right? I mean, it's natural. It's a natural thing for a parent to want to say to their kid. It's like the child will do something and you'd be like, no, 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 not like that, like this, right? You know, we naturally want to correct the direction of everything that's going on. And at a very young age, the children pick up on that helping and educating and being part and correcting the direction is all really important. And it's probably a very good sign that the child is saying, you know, watch me do this, because they're probably just mirroring what they've seen the parents do, which is the same thing. It's like, no, you hold the pen like this, or you start on the left and read to the right, or all those, you know, those basic elements. This is the process of things, and it's probably a sign of a very healthy relationship that the children have picked up on what the parents are doing and are just mirroring that back to the parents. And that's what we're looking at when we're looking at what our children are doing. We are looking at what we ourselves are doing at the same time. So as I said before, children don't really make mistakes. They live in a world of constant experimentation, where very often nothing is wrong. I think I gave before the example of there are students in school who discover things that their teachers don't know about, just because the students are more open-minded, and there's no limitation to that. We see that with how intuitive children are with technology, right? Where as I've often pointed out, that the children are very quickly better with the technical aspects than the parents are, and the parents should not get in the way of that. It's the parents' job to provide the right environment and to give moral guidance, but not to get in the way of their children's development, which is why when a child is interested in something, that is the single most important thing in the world. And I think it's like, if you put money into a bank and you get extra money back from the bank, that's called interest. It's the interest that makes things interesting. And that is a key element to life. When someone, especially a child, is interested in something, that is when the parents need to guide them more in that direction, or take a step back. And as you pointed out very clearly with the idea of skiing, you know, it's, you provide the opportunity for your child to ski, you demonstrate what is necessary, and you then see what the result is. You see whether they want to do it more, or if they don't want to do it at all. And it's really hard to make that judgment about how much is them and how much is you, because there's not a parent in the world that doesn't want good things for their children, right? And sometimes we want to put our kids under maybe a little bit of pressure, a little bit of stress to go forward, and that's also necessary as well at certain times. Although personally, I think it's a mistake to tell children that they have to do it because you have to do it. I think that's a giant mistake, and I see that a lot of the time, where I think it's wrong to approach the relationship with the children from the perspective of, I have to do things that I don't want to, so you have to do things that you don't want to. That's the wrong message to give to children. The right message to give to them is, there is an opportunity to do something. How are you going to manage this? Right? How are you going to manage this? How are you going to turn good, or how are you going to turn a problem into an opportunity?
Hmm.
That's the way to look at it. It's difficult, it's problematic, but we can make something good from it.